What's up, Daniel here. I'm going to be talking in this video about how you can succeed in online classes. I have a unique experience I think that I can share because I've been both a student of online classes and an instructor. Here are 3 actionable tips that you can implement to succeed in online courses. So tip number 1 is be engaged in the class. Honestly, it's easier not to be engaged. It's easier to just shut off your video, shut off your mic, chill in bed, even maybe just play some games on your computer or phone while the professor is lecturing, but it really can help to be engaged in the sense of, ask questions. You'll probably end up learning more the more that you're engaged. Your instructor may allow the Zoom chat to be a feature, which is pretty good because the chat allows you to talk to all the students, everyone, including the professor, or maybe just a few select students. If your instructor lets you use the chat, use it because it can be great just for asking questions, quick clarifying things, big broad questions that they can go over as part of the lecture. Also, you can ask questions about how the material can actually apply to real life. Your instructor likely is passionate about what they're teaching. Well, hopefully, if they're not, that's sad, but that's common too, unfortunately. But oftentimes, the professor really loves what they're talking about. So if you can ask them how it relates to something maybe that you're passionate about, that can really spark some cool discussion. That might be a cool way to get engaged in the material. Also, I can say that from the teacher's perspective, the more interested my students are in what I'm talking about, and the more questions they ask, the more motivated I am to really teach well and to really do fun stuff. Otherwise, it feels like I'm just talking to a void. I'm just talking to myself in a room by myself. Because especially if students don't have to have their video on, they don't have their mic on at any point in the class, don't ask any questions. It's like, why am I even here? Why am I teaching? No one even cares or is listening. So it really does help to motivate the instructor, and I guarantee they will do a better job if you decide to be more engaged in the material and the course. All right, key tip number 2, set up your environment for success. If you can't stand sitting at a desk or at a laptop hunched over, just like, looking at the webcam or looking at the Zoom chat or looking at the whatever, maybe don't do that. If you really can't stand sitting for like hours just listening to someone talk, because I can't do that, consider getting a standing desk. Consider, if you can, putting the lecture, if it's live, even over Zoom, you can put it on your phone and then go on a walk or something. And even if your professor needs you to ask questions, you can take out your phone and still record video on your phone. So it can be nice if you really just can't stand sitting. Really, I recommend considering doing whatever you can do to set up your environment for absolute success, to help you do the best that you can to really care about the material, to really care about what is going on, and also to like not go crazy. I really honestly get so tired of Zoom meetings and Zoom classes that last for like over an hour, honestly. So what I have to do is I have a standing desk and I'll just raise it up. I'll listen. I'll try to be engaged. I'll do maybe some jumping jacks, turn off my video when I do that. Or if I want to be crazy, I'll leave it on, whatever. So, but I do what I need to do to help me to pay attention. All right, key point number 3, actionable tip, is to ask big, broad, clarifying questions and resolve any scheduling conflicts or any other issues related to the class, right after the formal lecture period ends. That's a really good time usually to talk to your professor, because what happens in live college courses is that you're able to visit your professor's office hours when they're available, when they're scheduled, and you can just talk to them in person during an extended period of time. But online, it can be a lot harder to ask your professor direct questions about, oh gosh, I'm going to miss a week of class because I'm doing this. How can we schedule that? Right after lecture can often be a good time to ask them. Some professors really just don't want to make the time to do that, unfortunately. or they just really might have a scheduling conflict where they have to be somewhere right after the lecture. But a lot of times, catching them right after lecture is a good time to resolve any of those conflicts. This can be a particularly helpful tip if your professor is someone who doesn't reply to emails super well. If they, just take a little bit too long to reply to emails, we can't change that. So we can do our best to, you know, work with them. Taking online courses, whether in college or through some other program, can be difficult, but they can also be really rewarding and flexible. I hope that you'll consider implementing these 3 tips to help you succeed a little bit better through your online course, content stuff. If you have any thoughts or if you think I missed something, comment below. I reply to every comment, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm and stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night, whatever, and take care.